The second floor of the courthouse is dimly lit, the windows blacked out to prevent assassination attempts on the paranoid Governor Salin. The room is full of bookshelves and ornate display cases, and today, a handful of select bounty hunters. A man, mid-50s, stands in front of them, hands behind his back. It's Baron Liam, and he looks somewhere between forlorn and frustrated. He speaks to the floor, averting his eyes from the form standing in front of him in his chamber. He motions for most of them to leave, and he says, You know your mission. Go find them. Find them and kill them. And he points to one. He says, You stay. You, I trust you can help me. Those bounty hunters there, I trust them, but they're not like you. You have a certain skill set. You, I trust you to find the man who killed my son. I can feel it in my bones. The same man. No man would just kill so brutally, so obscenely. It has to be the serial killer. I know it. Oh, and he was just suspended there in the air. While the hunters still seek him, I choose to employ you. You, an avenger of blood. And he looks up, dead in the cold eyes of the gray-maned tabaxi that stands across from him. You were tasked by Lady Sonus not long ago. As this man, he's also the killer who took her father. While we know he still lives, this killer, you're the only one to have seen him with your own eyes. You're the only one to have drawn blood on him. You know what he looks like in his true form. I know you've repaid Sonus for the failed attempt, but I will double her bounty. I need this Chad, this Roderick, whomever he may be today. I need his head. The tabaxi nods. I understand. In 3 nights' time, his head will be yours. Hello and welcome to another adventure on Myths and Mystics. We're an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To my right is Gerald Waldrop as Zarin, the Changeling Avenger.
Hail and well met.
Natasha Waldrop as Vanya, the Half-Drow Assassin.
Hello, ready to play?
And Matt Murphy as Stone, the Human Mystic.
Thank you for joining us once again.
And I am your DM, Steve Messenger. Thank you for tuning in. All of our friends on Twitch on the stream, thank you for popping in. Leave us some notes on there. Maybe some crude directions for our friends, our adventurers to take, and maybe who knows? There's some places right now. I don't know how much you guys watch the other streams that are on. But there's some places where they're taking like requests from the audience.
What decisions our character should make?
Like if someone just chimes in like, hey, stab that guy in the face. So like, sure, random stranger told me to stab somebody. Probably should.
I do not trust our viewers that much yet.
You got to build that trust before you just stab someone in the face.
Yeah, getting all face stabby right out the gates.
Right out the gates.
Doesn't work.
I need to see you, shake hands with you before I let you make my character stab someone in the face.
So a lot of prerequisites you got there.
Meet you face to face, shake your hand,
stab.
Before I stab.
Although there's probably a pretty good chance they would talk me out of doing stupid things. So it might be the voice of reason I need.
Speak a completely different podcast, much more productive.
Yeah.
So, and then also big thanks to all the folks over there on iTunes. Is it still iTunes or is it just podcast now?
It's still iTunes for now.
For now.
This time.
Next time, catch it.
Next time. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
Do we have any news? We received a message, and we never talked about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and if we're going to talk about it, it's already too late.
And it really was too late.
It's too late. We had someone message us and say, hey, we want to be your partner in crime. We want you to pimp our stuff. We'll pimp your stuff. And then, like, I don't know how to use Facebook, apparently, because I couldn't log on to see the message. And when I clicked the little accept to go to their Discord channel, it said, oops, something's wrong with this page.
It didn't work for me either. I tried once.
It's probably a scam.
Uh-oh.
It took $20 out of our bank account.
Yeah.
And you did that each time you clicked.
It was literally the only $20 that we had.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had $20.
Yeah, well, not anymore. So, so that was a thing. And if you want to partner up, I suppose we'd be open to it. There's other podcasts I listen to, like instead of me just talking about MissingMystics.com, which, let's face it, doesn't always get updated week to week because there's not a whole lot to necessarily update. If you have a podcast and we want to do a little I'll rep you, you rep me kind of thing, would we be open to that?
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
I was talking with Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
boy.
and he was like,
I know that guy.
he's like, hey,
He was like,
Steve,
when you guys gonna come on?
I met that guy, yeah.
hey, I was doing some DMT
Hashtag Joe Rogan.
and I wanted you guys to rep my show because I need your viewership.
You are not close enough to your microphone for a good Joe Rogan impression.
No.
You gotta be.
So I was.
There you go. There you go.
So I got these toads that they're acid toads that
Yeah,
get
really?
you like totally high, like your mind would just skyrocket into the universe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna back off the mic now. I feel like I'm violating its personal space. Thank you for tuning in.
D&D?
Yeah,
That feel okay to
D&D is a thing that we play. So last time where we left off, there were some cataclysmic events with a bomb.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a giant bomb.
Yeah, on the list of things that will probably not make its way into future campaigns, bombs. Also,
Can't stop us.
Quogos probably won't be in there either.
This train is rolling.
Only because we made them extinct with our bomb.
Yes, they've been eliminated from D&D. Just rip that page out of your book. Put a big X on it. Done. You were confronted down in the Underdark by these things. They chased you up topside. There was a ploy that may or may not be game breaking to infinitely increase the size of a explosive device.
We only did it 3 times. It was basically to the power of 2 each time. Like exponentially increased.
Power of 3. Yeah, so we had a double, times 8 and then times 8 again was kind of what it was. 64. Yes, 40-foot bomb.
Yes. This thing went off. You had a little Mara incursion.
And we were okay.
Yeah, you should have been dead, but,
If all the players die, it's really hard to keep the game going.
it's like we got to start from the beginning pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Back to season 1, episode 1. There you are on the dock. And then from there, you decide to go investigate over at the House of the Dragonborn with his wife, Layla.
Yes.
Yes.
The old woman.
Yeah, it turns out he's into elderly women, which, hey, love knows no bounds.
Was.
What?
He's into not much these days.
It's not-
Yeah,
He's
well,
into the dirt.
yes, very much so.
He's gone.
into the bellies of the ravens.
I figured he had a very long lifespan, so he probably grew old with her, or she grew old with him, not growing old.
So growing old together. There's I just was reminded
Lots
of
of
a
old, lots of
terrible
growing.
joke I don't want to tell. So
Do you?
you were down there in the underdwelling, and she told you that he had some documents in the back. You determined that there was an address with a complicated list of digits, and she said he was working on something big. We're ladies honest. And I tried to make it a dramatic ending.
Yeah, that was really dramatic.
So dramatic.
I was like,
Good job.
thank you. It was,
Sometimes you just don't say it, but yeah, good job, man.
thank you,
That
buddy.
was great. We appreciate you.
On that one
I
thing
appreciate
that you
you
did.
too, buddy. It's nice to
does
get
a lot.
compliments. So, you are departing then from this woman's underdwelling then, I guess? Unless you want to try to take her gold from under the mattress.
Nah, No, we already told her about it, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop you from what I've learned.
Yeah, I was outside on the steps.
Okay. So, the
She
three
knows
of
that
you,
because we recapped.
yes. So the three of you are now departing from the underdwelling up onto the streets of outskirts of Orin. You're outside the main city walls. You're out there towards the hindered narwhal. What would you like to do?
All right, so Zarin, I didn't really explore this part, but I don't think it would be very easy for him to just brush past the fact that he steeled himself against the temptation to find his, or to see who the actual killer was. He's certainly eternally dedicated to his pursuit of vengeance and applying it indiscriminately. But yeah, he denied some very personal vengeance satisfaction. I don't know how to describe
So
that.
you're bringing this up to us? Are you wanting a sticker? Or
He doesn't want a sticker. He's I
you want a
think
nice round of applause?
I think his internal struggle is probably going to culminate in some sort of physical display. He's going to start like whacking his greatsword probably into the ground.
Great sword. That's what we're calling it now.
Yeah, just
Sorry, it's that early in the show
yes,
we're doing
indeed.
it. Oh boy.
He's
relaxing.
Yeah, he's just going to relax for a minute. He needs to take a minute
Phrasing.
to relax.
Well, all right.
No, he is going to like probably burst out, probably uncharacteristically, out after they leave the house, in a burst of anger.
There is a potted plant nearby, and it seems like no one really owns it. It's just
Destroyed.
there. And it's been eviscerated.
It's inside, so now it's outside.
Exactly.
What is Zarin look like right now?
Unless there's something more appropriate that he's going to be other than his form, he's probably going to be his full vengeance form with horns and all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after destroying it and probably blunting one edge of his blade, he'll breathe and just stop and stand back up again.
I think like us not knowing what is going on or how to react. If you are like yelling out and attacking a plant, I would draw my scimitar out.
This is clearly a threat.
And, what is it? Aim me at the danger.
Dr. Flower.
Yeah. What are you doing? What is wrong?
I passed up the opportunity. She was in my head, Mara. She offered me the opportunity to know who it was that took the life of my wife.
Wait, just now? While we're here?
No. While we were unconscious, she entered my mind.
During
in my
the
dream.
bomb?
Yes.
Well, how could she have been there? Everything was obliterated for miles, except for our sturdy hulls.
I don't know, but she was in my mind.
She was there.
And she took me. She went with me through my dream. The same dream that I have every night. The one I've told you about. The one that leaves me waking in a fit. And in that dream, she offered to show me what I could not see. The killer.
Wait, how would she know such things?
I don't know how she was
She's
in my
bluffing.
mind. Perhaps she was, but I denied it because she wanted in exchange to know the location of the helm of Halrak.
You made right choice.
She was in your mind. Are you sure she didn't ascertain the location without your knowledge?
No, she was trying to push farther, deeper into my mind. I was able to resist that much at least.
Well, then I commend you. I know it must have been difficult to turn down such a tempting thing, but who's to say she knows the things she says she knows? She's a deceiver and a liar who's out with an agenda to achieve, these physical objects that put together could do untold harm to Enervis.
You're right. There's only really one way to know for sure. We need to find her and make her talk.
Yes.
She's on the map. Where's that map of vengeance?
Yes, I have it right here.
Yes, and Zarin gets out his fantasy Sharpie. And
It's called a quill.
yes.
Can we pretend that this is like the Marauders map?
That's what we're doing.
We're all pretending.
That's what we're doing.
D&D. Don't have to ask if we can.
That's the polite way to pretend that. It's consensual pretending. It's important to do. You never know. I mean, you know,
You pretend in the wrong way at some point in the future. That's probably going to be very offensive to some people.
I'm
So-
currently offended.
There will be jails for such things.
Yes, pretend jails. So
Pretend imaginary offenses.
All right, so, well, where would we expect to find her?
We had assumed.
I think we
she
need
was
to make a
dead.
big 40-foot bomb again. I think that's what brought her out last time.
40 feet didn't take care of her. I think we'll need 8 times 40 times 8. Much bigger.
We need a bomb the size of the world.
Except the shrinky guys are all dead.
You need to learn that power.
Yes, I will work on it. So we were on our way to
Courthouse, right?
the courthouse in Orin, right? So,
Yeah.
well, is there somewhere more pressing that you feel we should go, or is Orin still our destination?
I can't recall if she let me know where she was going.
And the helm is
In
we
another
handed
plane.
it.
Gonna
We
look
handed
around.
it over to Patroclus. No, I'm out of game.
Oh.
Yeah,
no, this was what you took back to the
Yeah, we took it.
astral chamber.
I thought
Then
that
we
was the
put it-
shield. I had the
You
shield.
took
It was
all of
both.
it there.
We took all of it.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we gave it to Patroclus if we ever got it back.
Yes.
Okay, so Astral Chamber has. Let's just take a quick
Well,
inventory.
He doesn't have it
The
anymore.
helm.
He put it in another plane.
Well, yeah,
But he said someone could retrieve it. It's not like infinitely gone. It's in another plane.
they would have to know that it was in another plane. As far as I understand, it's in an extra dimensional space, another plane. So there'd be no way
It's
to
in a
get to
bag
it.
of holding, bro. That's all it is.
But there's not. Yes, but there's no bag. So how do you find a bag that doesn't exist?
Oh,
That
How
you
do,
can't
how do you kill
scry.
that which has no life?
no lie.
If there's
So-
a bag in the woods and there's no one there to see it,
So the helm. Let's just do
Can
this.
you hear it?
Do this for for the viewers' sake. The helm in another plane.
With the shield.
I'm just checking to make sure all the listeners know. The shield
it's all there.
in another plane.
It's all there.
The shield. the
What
helm,
else?
The armor
and the sword.
and the sword.
The armor and the sword.
All 4 items.
Was that all 4? We gave them all 4?
I thought one was already there. Was one not already there?
No, all four.
We brought them all
together.
four?
Yep. Because
Well, look at us adventurers.
Well, what are we even doing? We beat the game, bro.
I mean,
Okay.
the only way she could possibly know is by successfully getting into one of our minds. I think the only possible way we can solve this is to commit suicide.
Yeah.
That's
So somebody in another plane was just like, boom. Oh, a helmet just popped up in front of me. And it's like, poof, a shield. Poof. Oh, hell yeah, a sword. Armor.
he would one
And then
day in
they're
another
like,
universe become known as Hellrack.
Yeah, evil ruling in this other place now. Great. Okay.
Is hypnotism a thing in this world?
Yeah, there's actually there are spells for hypnotizing. Yeah, hypnotic pattern.
they
is
also
one of
do
them.
it for like trying to quit things that you're addicted to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Your vices.
Yeah. If you're trying to quit smoking,
I tried it. Zarin tried it. It does not work for
If you
quitting
catch on
vengeance.
fire. you-
For catching on fire.
All right.
all right.
Can't hypnotize yourself out of fire.
It's
turns
known
out.
that hypnotism's like a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Zarin,
Yes.
if Mara can get into your mind and sit in dream with you, perhaps someone else with power of mind can help you see the person.
Yes. Perhaps that is true. I don't know such a person. But if she can, she's on my list. Perhaps at the astral chamber, but We have absolutely no reason to ever go there again, he said convincingly.
Yes.
In case anyone might be listening in. You'll be talking in code the rest of this game.
Well, I was thinking, like, how do I communicate, like, hey, shut up? We don't want to talk about the stuff all being at the astral chamber.
The first rule about the astral chamber is you don't
do not talk about
the
that.
chamber.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's all there. We would say we believe it's relatively safe.
We
She
don't
doesn't know it's
where
there.
It would
exactly
certainly
is,
be
though.
terrible if she found out that we destroyed them. He
Yes.
looks around.
Last week. All of them. All the pieces.
Never to be reassembled ever again.
We have to assume she is capable of following us and hearing us at any point.
Exactly.
Maybe she is mini. And in the pockets.
Yes.
Pocket-sized Mara.
Check your pockets quickly.
Get rid of all your bombs.
All right. So while y'all are checking your pockets, so there's kind of a few things, a few different directions you can go. One was kind of going down this chain of, what's this whole deal with the Dragonborns working with Lady Saunus. There was going after Baron Liam, which, if you recall, right before the hub got all blowed up, you were hatching a plan with Patroclus to get in front of Liam as investors, posing as investors.
Yeah.
Because Liam was trying to get some money for a new weapon that he was working on. And then. And then there's also this whole Mara thing. With the whole Mara thing, if you wanted to go down that whole thing, there might be some different avenues depending on what it is that you want to do.
I think it's kind of up to Zarin at this point. This is all tied around your dream and this, kind of
Right.
whatever you choose, I will follow you.
You are a loyal friend.
That's me passing the buck.
Yeah.
That's wherever you want to eat, dear. That's what my wife.
I don't care what we eat. You pick.
Whatever.
Would you just tell me what you want? My wife sighs as she remembers our conversations.
Yes.
If you could just I know we're not going to play this game where you act like you don't know what you want and I have to keep guessing.
You guys
What is this turning into like a advice show?
Right.
Like I'm here to
Boy.
counsel
Yeah,
you?
please call in. We have
Yes.
what's our number? 1-800
1-800 what do you want to do?
M&M advice.
So, what would you like to do?
All right. I don't know how to find Mara.
Mara.
Seems as if she finds us every time.
Next time
Yeah.
we'll be ready. I hope.
Okay, you'll probably be asleep, and we'll be asleep.
Aha. Maybe one of us should sleep and the others will watch next time.
I usually do.
Great. Which
That's good to know.
which direction are we going here, friends?
North.
I think to north. Just cardinal direction. North by northwest.
Stalling tactics here.
We're gonna go with I think Baron Liam because that's our only solid plan of attack right now.
And we're right
He's definitely
here.
high up on the list. I mean, he's responsible for the death of your love, and he
Is nearby.
is nearby.
Okay. So you
When we went back to the cave, and the body wasn't there. It's like never mind. There's going to be a religion about this guy. The body was gone.
Oh, Jesus.
But
Exactly. You said it, man.
the immovable rod was there.
Yeah.
Did we retrieve it?
Okay,
Yeah.
we weren't
Remember,
there.
I tossed it to you.
That's
was
what,
there.
that's what I'm asking. You gave it back to me.
Yes, I did.
Yes. I need to add it back to my inventory. Thank you. Needed to know that.
That was very important.
Had to
Yeah.
know right now, this moment, before we go find his daddy.
All right. So you're gonna head on up
gosh.
towards Orin.
Zarin will resummon Wendigo. Wait for him to get back to normal size.
We don't have horses anymore.
Go
They'll probably
grow
go
up, Wendigo.
Might be waiting a while.
All right. So the three of you start making your way through the streets.
I'll
It
summon
is-
2 Wendigos and ride with 1 foot on each.
I like skates. Horsey skates.
Can you summon multiple steeds?
If they're that small, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Wait,
probably in
Wendigo
there.
forever
We can
small?
make a 64-foot bomb.
What?
What?
Is Wendigo forever small?
No.
No, he returned to normal size. All right.
Okay.
So the three of you make your way up towards the main streets. It is late morning, and people are milling about doing their things. It's summertime, so it's pretty warm out. And as you're approaching the front gates, you see that there's the normal array of guards up there.
What do you look like?
I'm Sir Roderick, as normal.
Sir Roderick.
Okay.
And as you're approaching, you do notice that there are the usual wanted signs that are posted. They're still looking for Chad.
The usual signs. Pictures of the three of us.
Just the
Three
chat.
pictures of.
Passerby?
There are pictures of all of your different aliases all over town.
Just Chad, though, right?
Just the Chad.
Not Roderick.
You just don't you roll perception?
What?
Oh boy. If you have to perceive it, then the answer is yes.
I mean, how often is he looking in a mirror when he's Roderick? Maybe he doesn't know.
What?
What is
He
that?
says
That's a 10.
perception. How would he not know?
Don't be
It's a 10 on the
ridiculous.
die.
17.
All right.
No, that's persuasion.
So-
Perception, 15.
All right, so as you're rolling up, you do see the signs. They only say Chad on them, but you do notice that among the guards, there is at least one individual that you have seen before just in your dealings with Orin and the Legion when you've been taking different missions in the past that you don't know the guy's name, but he seems to be wearing some leather armor. He seems to have a couple different swords and daggers that are all holstered in very tactical looking ways, and he has manacles on his side. This guy is definitely a bounty hunter, and he is looking around, kind of talking to some of the guards, talking to some of the common folk passing through. Does not seem to be paying you any mind right now.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll alert the other bounty hunters here.
What was that?
He said bounty hunters here.
Oh yes, we've got plenty of bounty hunters. Carry on.
Very good.
Yes. So the three of you cautiously ride into town. And again, when you roll into the streets of Orin, it's sort of a mix of, just because of the way that this town has developed over the years, the outer walls have more of sort of a Greco-Roman sort of whitish, marble-ish sort of grandeur to them. And the houses inside are a mixed bag, everything from milled lumber to clay houses, you name it. But the main strip going straight down the middle is the marketplace. And on either side, there are tall buildings that have been erected, and down the middle is all the carts and everything. So it's coming up on lunchtime. There's lots of people walking around. They're buying groceries, they're buying goods, they're trading, they're bartering, the whole 9 yards. And it smells pretty good. Like there's all kinds of good stuff getting cooked up. Halfway down on the left is the Drunken Wyvern. And at the very end, you can see off in the distance in the haze of the midday sun, you do see the courthouse. It doesn't seem like there's any special events or anything going on, just normal business. There's some guards up there. Your common place that you would usually catch up with Patroclus would be the Wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was to say that's probably where I'd be heading.
That way.
Gonna grab a chicken on a stick on the way through.
Oh, yeah.
Club Kalash.
Yes. You guys are rolling up to the Wyvern with some kebabs.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what it is about putting all that stuff on a stick. It just makes it so much better. Yeah. A nice little bourbon sauce. Anyways, you roll up to the Drunken Wyvern, and you mount up your horses there. You tie them up to the... I got to learn what that thing's called. What the hell is that post called that you tie your horses to?
Hitching post?
Sure.
That sounds right. Hitch post.
The hitch post. Son, that's what you tie up to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you tie up
All
to
tied
the
up.
post, and inside it, no music playing this time around, but as you walk in, it's pretty busy. People are drinking, eating some food inside, and Talia comes up. Hey, welcome back, guys. You want anything to drink? What can I get you? Just the usual?
Yes, the usual.
She,
Some swill for my friends and I.
Absolutely. So she goes off, and she's getting Dinah to get some drinks for you. As you're looking around, you don't see Patroclus just yet, but you do see someone walk up to you in a grayish cloak, And he nods at Zarin, and he sits down at the table that you're at. And he says, "Friends, it's been a minute since I've seen you all." And as he lifts his head up,
yeah.
it is the gray maned tabaxi
Ooh.
named Colt.
Colton?
Colt.
We had a good exit with him last time.
Mm-hmm. You did. And he says, "You're very brave to be showing your face around here. There's quite a few people looking for the three of you. Although,
The three of us.
well, most of them know about Chad."
Yes, we have seen the signs posted around town, and it has been our strategy to not use that visage at this time. Is that right?
That's right.
Yes, but there is a loose description of a bald man with a beard who travels with a spear. There's the
I put my spear away and pull out my crossbow.
a loose description of a half-drow assassin, and of course the elusive Chad. And
Well, that could all be circumstantial.
then
I don't think they'll tie it to us.
they were also telling me about someone who goes by the name of Sir Roderick.
Oh,
Now, the other bounty hunters don't know about this Sir Roderick, but I do. So, what brings you on business in Orin, knowing that you've got half the city looking for you? And that, friends, we're gonna cut to a break.
Oh boy.
Welcome to the break. If we were a juice stand, what kind of juice would you want? I'll tell you what kind of juice you want. Acid battery juice. No? You're shaking your head no. It tastes citrusy at first, but it gets you all powered up. And you know what you need power for? Listening to some Mystics and your batteries. You get your batteries all charged up, you get your little caboose going. Next thing you know, you're listening to us talking to you. Talking about the Dungeons and the Dragons. And let me tell you, it's been a real ride. Here we are, season 3. And we're still talking about MrMystics.com. We have a new sponsor, by the way. We don't. But imagine right now I'm talking about your thing. And I'm talking about all the cool things that you're going to sell. And I'm going to help you do it, just like this. All of our listeners that tune in, this is what they like to hear. And when I talk like this, they buy what I'm talking about. I know for a fact because I have MrMystics.com. And on that site, I drive a Bugatti now because of all the things I've sold there. So if you want to sell your postage stamps or your meals in a box that you cook, or maybe you have some other trendy thing that all the other podcasts pimp out, we could pimp out your wares as well. MrMystics.com, we're whores. Thank you. We'll see you on the show. Hello and welcome back from the break.
Welcome.
Hope you got yourself a nice, delicious snack, something tasty.
Just a
Always
cough
pushing the
drop.
snacks.
I know.
Right.
Some sort of snack agenda.
Can you just let people fast?
Yeah.
So I've heard about this intermittent fasting, and
love
it
it.
just sounds like eating. Because
Late. It sounds like skipping breakfast.
it's like, hey, you're either allowed to eat in the morning or in the evening.
Right.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you did not be able to eat anything.
I did that for like 5 years. Did not lose weight.
It's called being broke as shit.
Yeah.
I was broke in my 20s. I was also skinny in my 20s.
Well, yeah, I was pretty skinny.
When I was broke, I was really
Intermittent
skinny
fasting,
too.
bro. Yeah. Intermittent fasting.
Turns out you eat less, you don't get as fat.
Intermittent fasting, also known as your 20s. All right, so we're at the Drunken Wyvern.
Yes.
Colt has sat down at the table with you, and he has asked you, now that you've got a bounty on y'all's head, what the hell are you doing in Orin?
That's a good question. But why would you want to know?
Well, I happen to be in amongst those that was tasked with bringing in the three of you, in particular, your head.
But
Kind
you
of
would not.
grasp my scimitar across my waist.
But this is
Are
not the
you
first.
Riley.
grasping your scimitar?
Is that a scimitar
No,
at your
I-
waist?
Just happy to see you.
You as
boy.
well, buddy. It's been a weird night, friends. All right.
Vanya's He's gonna pull up her hood.
Okay. He says, luckily for the three of you, most folks don't know about you two, but your cover as Roderick is soon to be blown.
Oh, who else knows?
Right now, myself, I don't know how Baron Liam found out, but somehow he found out as well. So,
What does Baron Liam know about us?
he, number one, has put together the fact that Chad, Roderick, they're all the same, and that is the serial killer, more or less. The one responsible for Corvitz, the one...
I think he's mistaken about the serial killer. That sounds like slander to me.
Slander, libel,
Libel.
the whole 9 yards. He says,
Very, very suable.
he says, but he did find out about his son being killed here recently. Sounded pretty brutal, and he wants vengeance, and he wants it now.
Roderick and Chad would not have killed in that manner.
Well, he seems to be tuned into the fact that this Roderick-Chad combo must be some sort of shapeshifter or master of disguise, one of the two.
I like
suppose
that title.
Suppose it would be much more likely that it would be someone in disguise than a shapeshifter.
Yes, Master of Disguise is a fantastic title.
Yes.
I'm sure he would appreciate that.
So, but friend, I know your true form,
Yes, you do.
and my fear is that if they start employing any sort of optics like the one I have that can use true sight to see what things are, and that might be a problem for you.
How did you get that?
There was some
Almost.
man that I gave a king's note to, and
Son of a...
vending machine spat it out.
Are you serious? I just got these silly balloons.
Oh, it's funny with mine. Every time I use it, it leaves a ring around my eye. So, da 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 da. So he says, my advice to you is to lay low. But right now, I can assure you that both Liam and Governor Salin, they are up on the second floor. Liam, he's up to something. And I've got great fear for what that spells for the people of Enervis.
You know his true nature, don't you?
He's trying to devise some sort of weapon. Something, I've heard of him speaking of it. Sounds like some great breath of fire that he's able to summon. Something that just will incinerate all the foes that stand in front of him. Sounds like he might have some sort of working prototype of it, but it sounds like he needs more money in order to implement it.
Sounds like foreshadowing.
A little bit. It's like, so, I did see your friend, from the Legion, that elven fellow, Patroclus. He was on his way in, so he might be able to set you up with a way to get in there, but just want to give you a heads up that you're a very wanted man right now.
I appreciate that. Your understanding.
And you might want to come up with some other guys. So,
Indeed.
Well, once again, you have proven your loyalties to us, and we appreciate that. At the risk of exposure with your employer, we thank you, sir.
absolutely. So, I have things to do and places to go, but we need to get this resolved soon because...
And then he slits Zaren's throat.
it runs off with your
takes his
head.
Yes.
Got your head.
Got it.
I
But,
guess I was too early on the congratulations.
So they're expecting results very soon. So we're going to need to do something to resolve this quickly. So
Will you be with us then?
I-
It is time.
likely won't be able to be seen with you, but if you're planning something, I could post up on one of the nearby buildings as Overwatch.
We will be headed there after our conversation with Patroclus, I'm sure.
Cool.
Where can we find you?
If you've got keen vision, I'll be up on one of the buildings nearby. One of the buildings I used to snipe that day when I saw you step out on that balcony.
Ah, yes.
So just the building to the southeast of the courthouse, I'll be up on top.
Noted.
So just don't take too long because I don't like waiting, you know.
He
I'm
kind of
just up
said it
there.
like he was planning on already going there. Like he just, I was going to be on top of that building.
It's
Just
like
goes up.
Batman.
It's hours.
It's
and
like every
hours.
superhero,
Yeah.
right? They just hang out on buildings
Yeah.
watching down below.
But they do it so cool. Their capes are always kind of like flowing in the wind.
Yes. So yeah,
Practice your pose.
and it's not a very good one. So he
You got the cloak and everything.
he gets up, he nods, and he leaves. And Talia comes back. She's like, "Yeah, I got your drinks for you here." And she slides out 3 drinks. That'll be 3 gold, please.
That took forever. I'm taking it out of your tip.
She looks hurt.
It's a gold for this.
Yeah, we don't use copper and silver in this game.
Oh.
Only dollars, yo.
Yeah, 3 gold.
I will give her 4.
Thank you. And she skips off. And
You just undermined me.
You've never once tipped, so at the risk of having spit in our drinks, I thought I'd cover the bill.
Will, but as soon as I get good service, I'll give a good tip.
she stops.
Oh no!
She just sets her tray down on the table next to her. She takes off her apron and she balls it up and tosses it out to the side. And she sulks to the back room.
So sad.
Not sad. Not sad. He just did her a favor in life.
She hated this job.
She will go on to do amazing things.
All right. That will be for another campaign.
Yes.
All right. Patroclus walks in and says, "Oh, well, there you all are. So you all look a bit rough.
Well, don't expect to be getting any drinks anytime soon.
Let it go, man.
What did you do?"
I stated objective facts, that's all.
Is the last time we saw him at the hub
Yep.
when it blew up?
Yep.
How is everything at the hub?
Well, the battalion has left. It seems as though if there was any sort of attack, it never came, or we're not sure. So we did leave a small remnant there of a few guards as far as security goes, but seems as though the hub has its security back up about it. They're underway with making repairs to the front. Cujo's up and moving around. He seems to be back to normal. Very, very terrifying that an attack like that could happen out of nowhere. And as far as I could tell, it seems as though it was definitely timed for the Legion to be showing up the same time that explosion went off, especially with the markings down below. It seemed very well orchestrated, but there was no attack. So it seems as though whatever was supposed to come through that mine shaft was supposed to make its way up there. Sort of a
But
funnel.
it seems like having closed that mine shaft may have prevented those plans, yes.
It's almost like the DM's notes just got ripped up one more time when you fucking blew up the damn mine shaft.
You mother effers.
You opened it, I was like, "Thank you." And then you closed it. I was like, "Shit."
What the hell are you doing?
It's like the clapper. You just turn the lights on and lights off just left and right. Anyways. It says, so,
And so is the way with all plans of all DMs.
yes.
Patroclus,
Yes.
you should know that we have learned of several plots happening at once, mostly revolving around Baron Liam
Yes.
and attempts at some sort of
Super weapon.
super weapon. He's been employing people to do things with explosives all over Enervis, and I can't help but think he's behind everything you're talking about, and has much more grave plans for the Legion in general.
Well, it certainly seems as though his goal is to increase the might of the Legion. Now, I know his short-term goal is he wants to part ways with the hub, however he sees fit with that, which lends credence to the whole bombs underneath it sort of thing, but we don't have anything directly tying him to it just yet. But even so, the fact that he's putting together this super weapon, I knew he was working on something. Do you have some piece of information as to what that weapon is?
We
Something that breathes fire.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't sound like explosives per se, but
Did you watch the last season of Game of Thrones.
It's odd because everyone says I should watch it. I've just never seen a single episode.
Forget it. I said anything then.
I'm
Have you
more
ever
of
heard
a-
of Trogdor the Burninator?
that's more up my alley. I'm more of
More
a,
by speed.
I'm more of an Invader Zim kind
it
of guy.
sounds like some sort of machine, and we know he's been collecting explosives.
Yes.
Something that could project explosive fire. Some sort of flame. I don't quite know.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a connection there. Now, the challenge is I have not seen whatever this weapon is, so I'm not sure where he's staging it. Myself, I've not been around Liam much at all, even since his return, seeing as I'm mostly in the field. Now, my contacts in the treasury do say that he's trying to get access to gold to get this thing moving. This could be an opportunity to get up there and see what we can find out and see what we can root out.
What did you find out about the force that was marching on the hub?
As far as I know, it all checked out as a training exercise. Since the explosion, they used a lot of rations to help out the folks around the hub to sort of patch things up and whatnot. So they are going to be returning back to Orin. They're not going to be carrying out the training exercise as of late.
Does the word or name Coden mean anything to you?
I know Coden. He is the dockmaster over there on the west side of Orin. And you all would know that Orin, being a major trade city for Enervis, is in proximity to the docks of Warwall. And then everything, all the other Legion cities throughout Enervis, everything that's coming in through the ports pass through Orin to go out that way. So there's a huge, on the whole west wall of Orin is sort of like this, almost like shipping docks, but it's like carts coming and going. So literally everything that comes in has to pass through there to be taxed, tallied, all that good stuff.
So it's customs for the
Pretty
most
much.
part.
Pretty much, yeah. I said, so Coden is the dockmaster out there. He handles all the things shipping, coming and going.
Does he work with you, the Legion, the hub?
It's sort of I guess, an offshoot of the Legion. I mean, it's the docks are sort of its own thing. Like, he doesn't have a Legion rank per se, but he does answer to the Legion, if that makes
he's
sense.
not like Arcos or...
I mean, I guess I've
Their
never really investigated him. I suppose if there was going to be someone to be bought off, that would be the man to buy off. But
His name has come up in documents that we have seen recently with
Yeah.
all of the explosives.
what other names came up?
The names Volkner and Oscar.
And who are they?
We believe those to be locations. Perhaps they're not, but there was something that looked like the word. Was it Oscar below the hub?
Yes.
Yes.
Written in the stone.
Yeah, both of those names were down there.
Oh, and Volkner as well. underneath
There
the
you
hub.
go. You're welcome. This is so... Sounds to me this isn't so much a who thing, but a where thing. If they're using code names for locations to plant explosives, I'd be concerned about.
Yes. I produced... Wait, do you have this note? Who has this one?
I don't know. Between the
We
two of us,
do.
one of us has.
We have the
I will... One of us will produce this.
Stone reaches his hand into
And
Vanya's back pocket
I'll show him
and pulls out a note. Sorry.
sleight of hand check. You could see here 10 cases high explosive to Oscar at Lone Rock, 4 cases high explosive to Volkner at Lone Rock, etc. 5 cases bulk low yield to Coden in Orin. So these do sound like names and then places. However, it is odd that those were written below the hub, and then we haven't seen mention of this low yield and how it might be used, but Coden is apparently a part of this, whether it be Coden at the docks or Coden a code place that is coincidental.
Interesting.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, not off the top of my head. And if this Volkner and Oscar, if was what was below the hub, then to me it almost seems as though we need to figure out what this, I guess, where Coden is. I mean, you could try interrogating, but
We did come across a dragonborn through all of this who was tied to this.
We followed him after the hub blew up.
oh,
We followed him out through the
so
passages.
he was likely the one setting off the explosives. Then,
Correct.
Most likely.
gotcha.
He has met his demise. However, we did interrogate his widow peacefully. And
I'm sure.
And she didn't know much, but was able to produce some evidence of a plan for something much larger. I have here a list of numbers that could be code. An address, Craven House 12A, and she said he was
Still
working...
tenements. I'm sorry. Go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
She said he was working on something big with Lady Sonos. Here in
Lady Sonos.
Warner.
So that's Corvitz's daughter,
Yes.
and Craven House is in the old tenements on, again, the sort of the west-southwest side of Orin.
Yes. Unfortunately, we have learned of a bounty on our heads. It may be difficult to travel around Orin as freely as we could prior. We will need some sort of disguise if we are to learn much more of this ourselves.
All right. Well,
I think a cloak will do for the two of you.
Well, maybe one for each of us would be better.
you could sit on each other's shoulders and sort of be like a
Very
taller person.
I think it would definitely.
I get to be the head this time.
It'll throw people up. Yes, much more if you're in the same cloak.
Certainly not looking for a 12-foot tall person. It couldn't be this man.
With the tiny legs. Ill-proportioned legs.
He says, yes,
What about an 18-foot tall person?
so I would just make sure you keep your cloak on and keep your hood up. And, it's summer, so you might look a little silly for walking around with your hood on, but, do what you will.
No,
Yes.
you did.
Can you grow hair?
It does not appear as though any hair is grown. Actually,
No hair was produced.
2 hairs pop up.
But not where you can see
This
them.
clearly is not the man you're looking for. You see, the man you're looking for is bald, but this man has 2 hairs on his head.
Like Homer Simpson now.
Brown. Yeah. All right. He says, well, so that should get you by. And then as far as you, then I'm sure there's many different forms you could take to do what you have to do.
Did you have a lead on where investors are meeting with Baron Liam?
So,
Listen, for your sake, you've never been able to confirm that anyone that you know or have ever met has been able to take multiple forms.
well,
In case someone comes knocking.
that's understood. I know things and occasionally drink. I've never watched Game of Thrones, but I know that line. All right, except I did it.
Right, in reverse.
I'm jacked
Much
up.
more. Yes.
Anyway, so it says whatever it is that you have to do to lay low, that's your business. So as far as businesses, investors, that's something that I could arrange a meeting. I know some folks over at the courthouse.
Yes.
It would likely be in the second floor chamber of the courthouse. Now, Salen has been keeping to himself in one of the back chambers. From what I've heard, he's not even left. He's been cooped up in there. I know that Liam has had several different folks up there for different meetings and whatnot, so we could get you set up, I'm sure, to pop up there. So we would need to have some sort of ruse as to who you are. So what would your names be coming in?
Chodrick.
Damn it, we talked about this. Unique and new, friend.
We'll say Helmsworth.
Rad.
Rad.
Right.
We'll say Honorber.
Yes.
Sugar.
Herberta.
I love it.
We'll say you there, and then
Dude, you gotta write harbor.
you'll be
That's it. That's
you'll
the
be
one.
you'll be Herdeber.
Yep. Harbor.
This will be the Swedish Chef episode.
Oh my gosh.
How about you will go as Hansin.
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 Bop.
I will be Fransin.
I am Hansin,
I am Fransin.
and we are the adventurers.
We are here to
Pump.
make you money.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh my gosh, I love it.
and then you there.
I would prefer not to be seen. I will be lookout.
All right. Well, you're gonna have a hell of a time sneaking in. So are you?
She's a hell of a sneak.
I've heard. Well, I'll let you figure that out on the fly. What you plan on doing. I'll simply make the arrangement that there's someone who's interested, someone with money, someone with prestige from afar.
Ah, yes.
This is gonna be terrible.
She has all of the money.
Oh my god! All right, and
This is your fault.
Yeah, you named him.
You've done this to
Could have gone with
yourself.
Harvard. out
You
here.
have no one to blame but you.
this is my lot in life.
This is
So
another clap
it says,
instance.
give me 20, 30 minutes to arrange this.
Patroclus like, fuck it, I'm out.
Says, why do I even bother with all this? I have enough to retire. He says, give me about half an hour to make the arrangement. Meet me at the courthouse on the steps.
Very well, thank you,
He,
sir.
he nods.
Very
and he looks. There's a random drink that was left on the table there that's half full. He eyeballs it. And he
I'll
says,
slide it over to him.
I'm not above this. And he takes a drink and he sits back down. He
That was my spit cup.
says, don't judge,
Oh.
don't judge me. And he takes off. So you have a little bit of time to kill. You can make your way over that way. You can make whatever arrangements you want to make. And he says, by the way, he won't entertain anyone with less than 3,000 gold. I'll see you at the courthouse.
Wait, we're gonna need to borrow some gold from the Legion.
Just make it look like you have some gold.
That means we should go
Yes.
shopping.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says, okay then.
I'm going to transform myself into a pile of 3,000 gold.
Is that something you can do?
We're gonna come out looking like Hans and Franz in nice sunglasses with gold chains.
Just made of money. And he says, all right then, I'll meet you at the courthouse. And he leaves. All right, so you've got half an hour to figure out your plan.
We have half an hour to get 3,000 gold.
Yeah.
How are we going to do this? I know we can go rob Baron Liam.
Let's pose as investors to get in there to rob him, so we can get the money to pose as investors to get in there to kill him.
This is like
I love our plan.
it's a good plan.
It's a plan.
You too. Okay.
All right.
Oh, just you wait.
So you're going to need to look the part. So Zarin, that's not going to be a problem for you because you can just glamour yourself with your bedazzled armor. And then you, Fransin,
Hansin and
Do you have a
Fransin?
spell like disguise self or something like that? What's the other one?
No.
you
No?
walk around shirtless all the time. You are Randy from Trailer Park Boys. Yeah.
My spirit.
All you have to do is
animal.
put a shirt on. Ooh, maybe trim your beard.
Take
We
my
are
beard
in a-
and tie it up above my head. So it looks
great.
like a regular hair.
Regular hair.
We're in a marketplace. We can find stuff.
Hair.
So there is
Yeah, a wig. Yes.
there is a shop, and it is called Fred's Threads. And there's a gentleman there standing out front.
Is his name Fred?
And he says, my name is Julian. I am here to assist you with all of your...
Where's Fred?
He's gone for a while. Don't you mind why? Come on in.
Seems suspicious.
Yes.
It
I'm
does.
immediately
Nothing about this seems suspicious at all. Come
Okay.
on in. And he says, what can I do you for? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a man bun. You know,
I don't.
a bun from a man.
From a man
It
for a man.
says normally you need something to up there, to tie together.
Just a bun would be
Says-
fine.
I do have.
Cinnabon?
Cinnabon, I was just saying, Cinnabon, just stick it there.
He's a huge fan.
I could get you a nice wig.
Would you like a wig?
A nice
One
wig.
long enough to tie in the back.
Okay, all right.
I hear it's all the rage.
He steps back behind the counter, and there's a variety of wigs there, blonde, brunette.
I would like to request a picture of Stone with his wig on.
It's not a very great wig,
All the better.
but
I'll go with a blonde one, even though my hair is all.
very dark.
Oh my gosh.
And
It looks like I have money and can afford to change my hair color. Yes.
yeah, it's gonna contrast quite a bit with the rest of
You.
everything. It's gonna be pretty obvious.
Oh my gosh.
I like this one.
It's all right. So I'll set this aside here for you. What other things could I get for you?
Okay, hold on.
Maybe some adhesive. I don't know how this works.
As a master of disguise,
Yes.
to take a moment, is his assessment of looking like this wig is money going? Does that look like it's going to be plausible, or should I be suggesting something that looks more realistic?
The wig does not at all look like money.
Okay, not this one.
Oh, well, there's a very nice red one over here then.
Nope, not that one, not that one at all.
Are you trying to find something to
Yeah.
pad the
This
wallet?
man
per
will
se?
be choosing a wig for me, please.
There's not going to be a wig that looks like money. You're gonna. I mean, you could. There's all kinds of things you could throw into a bag. To
Is
bulk
there
it
a
up.
hat then?
A nice chapeau. Here you go.
I'm gonna come out of this looking like Kid Rock.
Yeah,
My blonde hair and my
Glasses,
flat brimmed
sunglasses.
hat.
He sets you up with a medium top hat. And with your
Perfect.
blonde
Yeah,
wig,
very money.
and it says, and maybe a nice.
I might
set
go
of
free
robes.
some slaves with this
Get
hat.
you like a jacket of some sort.
Oh yes.
All right, there you go. And he gets you. It is a very bright, light blue, silky with sort of these greenish, goldish, leafy, sort of viney things embroidered
Tassels.
into it. And some tassels too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shoulder tassels.
And it says, "You are gonna look smashing in this." And
Fabulous.
Vanya is laughing.
he helps you put it on.
This is fantastic.
I look like Elton John at this point.
Rocket Man. There
And
you
he
go.
says, "All right. So unless there's anything else."
Oh, I think this will do splendid.
Oh my gosh.
All right, that will be 25 gold for the lot.
Yeah, you look nothing like yourself. That's just,
It's a worthwhile investment.
I will give him. Would you take 20?
I would take 20 and then 5 more. I'm trying to run a shop here.
Fine. That's how most negotiations go for me. Would you? No. Okay.
I mean,
Here you are. Is your 25?
All right, thank you very much.
I got it for a steal.
And then you're going to need something to make it look like you have more gold than you do. If you're not going to put all your
that-
gold.
Well,
outfit
everything else we're doing is making it look like we have less gold.
that way. Doesn't that outfit make him look like money?
How much gold?
Gold tassels. Come on.
How much
Gold
gold,
tassels.
was in the Dragonborn's house?
300.
Not.
There was 100 gold, thank you.
Ah,
Oh, 100.
darn it.
You guys have very selective memory. Very selective.
I select to remember that there was 3,000 gold there.
That's exactly what I mean. All right.
Why don't we sew the gold, sew gold coins to your new jacket there. That'll look rather rich.
That's usually what people with money do. They
Scribble on it.
Yeah, just
Flaunt
put it
them.
all over themselves before they
Scotch
walk
tape it
through.
I know.
Before they walk through the crowds of Orin, of the slums.
Only someone with ridiculous amounts of money
Yes.
would possibly ever do that.
something so stupid.
It should be falling out of my pockets as we walk into this meeting, just like
Just
a
coins
trail like
rolling
Skittles in the
around.
woods.
We
Sounds-
definitely should be like tossing out some extra coins, like so people like are running after us to get to money as we.
Oh my god.
Sounds
Just
sounds
yes, you want some money? We have monies.
Sounds like Natasha actually has a plan here.
Oh, yeah. That's-
What about an exotic pet?
Oh,
I'm serious. I think it would fit with his outfit. People with money do crazy things,
Yes,
like wear
like
what
a-
he's wearing.
Like a tiny horse. It rides in my pocket. My breast pocket.
the problem is that Wendigo is no longer mini-sized.
Or I was gonna say, Wendigo could become regular size at any moment.
However-
in my pocket.
When I cast Find Steed, I can choose a warhorse, a pony, a camel, and have you heard of something more exotic in this setting as an elk?
Riding on my elk.
Or
Okay. Oh, it's like Sven and Kristoff.
Yeah.
Ooh, Sven, that'd be a great name for this elk.
Yes, this is my elk Sven. He's exotic. He comes from the north with me.
I have a +2 with animal handling.
You see how Fransin handles my animal? He likes it very much.
you look across the street, and there is also a pet shop called. It's called
Pete's Pets.
It's called Pete's Pets. and once you know it,
Threads,
Good
Pete's
job.
Pets.
once you
Love
know
that
it,
marketing going on in Orange.
once you know it, it's Mr. Peter from the Legion. Turns out when he's not busy legioning, he's
petting.
He also runs a pet store, and he looks over and
Heavy betting.
he's standing outside, and he's just got a big smile on his face. He's got
Pete?
it's Mr. Pete.
Is that you, Pete?
He looks up and he says, "Hello there, you're looking for some pets today?
Don't we know you?
Oh, you're in disguise.
You have something exotic.
You look familiar. I feel like I might have seen you somewhere."
I'm
What's the
sorry.
most exotic, expensive pet that you have?
Ooh, most exotic, expensive pet. Why don't you step on in? And you step into this pet store, and there's just cages everywhere. There's things hanging from the ceiling. There's all kinds of colorful birds. There's some different bins that have snakes in them. There's some furry little creatures. Some look like
A niffler?
yeah. There's a couple of those.
They're so cute.
Some gerbil-looking things.
Is that from the Potterverse?
Yeah. And they
Okay.
steal everything gold and they put it in their little pocket.
That sounds exactly like something you need.
That's a good way to get 3,000 gold.
I want one of those.
Okay. It says, well, the nifflers, which I'm sure there's no trademark for.
Copyrights are all clear.
That will be that's just 5 gold. 5 gold.
Ooh, I want one.
That's
all
so
right.
expensive for such a pet. But
Go
that
ahead.
sounds expensive and exotic.
Go ahead and pick one up.
Okay. So this niffler's gonna bring me money.
Excellent.
I don't know how much we're gonna blend.
Return
what a
on-
niffler actually is.
Return on investment.
Yeah, I'm sure something that costs 5 gold is just a money machine here in Enervis, and no one's figured it out. There's just a shelf full of them.
No one figured out how to make a 40-foot bomb before we did.
Yeah,
This is true.
So
This is the first time this has come up in Enervis.
All right. So
we're inventors. We create things.
Opportunity.
so Zarin,
Yeah.
what is your I guess
What's your vision for me, friend?
what do you look like as far as what sort of disguise are you going to be taking on now?
I should probably mirror those fine threads that Fransin is disguised in.
Okay. So outside
Only
the pet
slightly
stop,
fancier.
outside the pet shop, we see first a stone step out with a finely groomed beard with blonde hair jutting out from a
There's
Tall.
fog. Fog rolls out behind me.
top hat with a light blue jacket that he has, and somehow he got a cane too. He's walking with the cane. He walks out, and we got a montage going. Next thing
An
we know,
elk follows me out.
on one side, and then we see Natasha step out with the hood drawn up. In her hand is the niffler. Yep, and it's looking around doing it. I have no idea. I'm picturing like a chinchilla. Sure, and then
Perfect.
we look over and we see Zarin step out, and he is wearing a bright orange jacket
Fedora.
as well, with a bright orange top hat and a cane as well. much akin to
Yes, this is very inconspicuous. This will be perfect.
looking like $1 million, also looking like
3,000 plus gold.
something out of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
And that, friends,
It did there.
is where we're going to end this week's episode as they walk up to the courthouse. Thanks for tuning in. We love you. We'll catch you next time.